Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone out there in chat, and welcome to the Midwinter Speedsprinter hype stream. Let's go.
Woo! Yeah.
There we go. There's some hype.
I'm very hyped.
Yeah. Excitement.
Everybody.
Obligatory excitement.
So, yeah, we're just going to take this time to sit around, hang out, talk about the marathon a little bit. And it's probably going to be pretty relaxed. We don't really have a whole program or format laid out. Hope everyone's okay with that. I'm Newt over here. I guess I'm moderating this a little bit.
Sure.
I sort of put it together.
Yep.
And I'm joined by Gooby over here.
Hello.
Gooby's the only other one you can see, and then Sex Rex and Helix are also here.
Hello. We are.
Yeah, the stills are pretty great, aren't they?
I really like actually both of them.
Right? Dude, I had to go with that picture. The anime is real in that one. I love it so much.
It's really good.
It's so good. So anyway, yeah, Midwinter is coming up now, just under 9 days away until we start. That's pretty crazy.
It's wild. I'm not ready. Postpone the marathon. I'm not ready.
Push it back like at least 2 months.
Put it at D2 or something. Here, you could have this marathon now.
Oh my god. So yeah, I guess we're going to take some time to talk about some runs that we might be interested in. Gooby is going to talk a little bit more about carbonfund.org Foundation, which is the charity that we will be raising money for this marathon. And then we'll just talk about whatever else comes to mind, and if anybody has any questions or anything they'd like to hear us talk about, feel free to ask up in the chat. So, Gooby, if you'd like to talk a little bit about carbonfund.org Foundation.
Sure. Yeah, so the carbonfund.org Foundation is a 501c, and what they focus on is carbon offsetting for businesses and individuals and organizations. And one of those organizations they partner with is VGMCon, so we want to help them out too. So their goal is to make carbon offsetting really simple, really efficient, really easy. And by having all sorts of projects that you can donate towards. For example, they have ones in renewable energy, they have them in planting trees, things like that. And they've planted over 1 million trees. They've offset like 25 metric tons of carbon, which is wild. Just a huge, huge number of that. and they're just a really, really great organization. Really happy to be working with them.
Yeah.
They have a platinum star rating from, I want to make sure,
Very nice.
from GuideStar. That's right. Want to make sure they have that right. And they work with all sorts of businesses around the world. They work with Amtrak, JetBlue, National Geographic, Overstock.
Oh wow.
And we're just to show like that every donation does make like a huge difference with it too. Every just $1 donation will plant a tree. And if you donate $5, that will offset one American's daily water usage. A $20 donation will offset a flight up to 10,000 miles, and a $50 donation will offset an apartment under 1,000 square feet.
Let's go trees.
Yes, let's go trees. So
Let's
if you
go
want
trees.
to, trees are good. If you didn't
trees,
listen to
trees.
any of... So if you want to learn more about them, please visit carbonfund.org. Really excited to be working again with them this year.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep, they're also a 501c nonprofit, so if you donate, your donation is tax deductible.
There you go. Always get those tax deductible donations in.
You might also want to check with your employer to see if they'll match your donation. Some of them will.
Ooh, that's a good idea. That'd be really cool. Yeah, so that's a little bit about carbonfund.org Foundation. Obviously, we want to take care of the environment as much as possible, and this is one way that you can do that. If you're not somebody that is directly involved with going and planting trees yourself, this is one way to make sure that that work is getting done.
Surprise, we're going to cancel the marathon. We're all going to plant trees instead. We're going to, everyone, give them a shovel. You're planting a tree.
Ooh, there we go. What's your favorite kind of tree, Gooby? And anyone else that's curious. I want to hear this.
Oh.
Your favorite tree.
I was not prepared to answer this question. I like aspen trees because of the way it is. I hope someone gets that reference.
I don't remember what the kind of tree it is, but the ones that Spanish moss grow on, because those look really pretty when you're down south. It's like they have snow, but it's not really snow. You definitely don't want to build a snowman out of Spanish moss. They're insects that will burrow into your skin pores. It's not fun.
Ooh.
My favorite trees are the ones from Super Mario 64 that have recently grown up and made another appearance in Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. I never thought about that. Oh my gosh. I guess, is it my turn to answer? Trees?
Yes.
By process of elimination, yes.
I suppose, yeah. Let's see. I didn't even think about this before I asked it. Maybe, like... I know it's super basic, but like a red maple. Oh, they're so pretty in the fall. I love it so much.
That they are.
It's legit.
Either that or like a big pine tree, because pine trees are cool. Anyway, moving on from that, no, we all like our trees. This schedule looks ridiculous. Like, I keep going back and looking at it, and it just blows me away every single time I look at it.
If I can brag a little bit, I feel like we top ourselves every time.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
You keep saying this, like, the past 2 or 3 events. It's been like, oh, this Midwest Speed Fest is the best event yet. And then Mid-Fall Speedball rolled around and we're like, oh, this schedule is the best one yet. And, oh, this schedule.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things about this group of people we've got together putting on these events is just every time everyone comes back with something new and fun, and there's just so much to be excited for on this schedule just every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I said if I or we could brag a little bit, but really it's all of you, the runners, the donators, the viewers.
It's getting crazier and crazier every single time, and I love it.
It is.
And I love every minute of it. So you guys want to talk about some of the runs that are going to be happening? Some that you might be looking forward to in particular? Gooby, do you have any off the top of your head?
I do. I have a few I was wanting to talk about. One in particular was the Pokemon trading card game. That's a setup run, so I hope that
Hopefully
gets
it
shown.
in.
But that run is pretty ridiculous because that was a game that the any percent route was originally an hour and a half run or so, and now it's a 10-minute run. Through a new ace discovered. Yeah.
That's
you
right.
you can go into any fight and you can just kind of hit the note button, and then the trainer is like, well, you hit the note button, so I guess you win. Here's your card pack. And then yeah, it's pretty amazing.
The biggest speedrun to discover Ace in as of recent.
Yeah.
I can't
The
think of
most
any other game.
well-publicized ace in speedrunning.
Oh my god, exactly. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Is there anything else that you've got, Gooby?
I do. Another one I was really excited for is Jack and Daxter. I personally feel this run is really slept on. I think the movement options are just very, very cool in this game. They're not really like any other game. Like, I can't really think of a game that has the same style of mechanics of Jack and Daxter. And this is a game I played a lot as a kid and just really enjoyed exploring the environments, the fleshed out they are, and just kind of getting to see a 100% speedrun of it. It's just to see you move around all these different environments and just utilize your movement mechanics throughout that whole run just so well is something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
What I'm really looking forward to is figuring out how we're going to claim that all those games in between the Jack and Daxter runs are also in the Jack and Daxter expanded universe, so that it's just one huge jackpot.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's figure this out together. I'm bringing up this schedule. Let's see.
We've got
everyone's favorite PlayStation platformer, Pokemon trading card game.
Yeah.
See, I think it's Jak 2, then it's Farm and Three Houses, and then Mario Kart. So you could say after Fire Emblem, you drive your way to the Pokemon trading card game to get into the world, but you're in a ball and you roll down because you're traveling back in the groove through a dark descent, but you're being too loud, so you gotta pacify yourself into the Precursor Legacy.
I like it.
There we go. It's the Jack block.
I really hope y'all have the schedule up. Beautiful.
That was fantastic, and I assure you, entirely unscripted. Gooby, you're a mastermind.
100% improv.
100%.
That was actually
it was impressive.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You also mentioned a couple of runs in there that I wanted to touch on. Immediately following Jak 2 by Sikinar. No less. We've got Jak and Daxter, and we've got Jak 2, which are going to both be a lot of fun. Really good runners there. Fire Emblem, Three Houses by Moonblaze Wolf.
I will actually be on the couch for that.
Oh, I'm so excited. Blaze is such a good runner, too, and such a good commentator.
Yes.
He ran Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise at last Midwest Speed Fest, which was an awesome run. Super fun. And immediately after that is going to be Mario Kart 8 by Amber. The recent world record holder for bonus tracks, Amber. It's a crazy run. So much fun. And keep an eye out for Big Blue Skip, because that one's always a lot of fun right at the very end of the run.
Mario Kart is the run I wanted to talk about as well.
Oh,
you
yeah?
think you know Mario Kart? If you haven't seen a speedrun, you don't know Mario Kart. At least not in this sense.
It's one of my my highlighted runs to look out for.
Especially during like Speedball was happening, I remember everyone was kind of whispering like, we got Amber this time. When is Amber coming on site? And it's like, this is like, people are getting really excited for this Mario Kart.
Yeah. It's sick.
Cool.
And I hope a bunch of other people from around the con will show up for some of these runs. I feel like Mario Kart is one of those more accessible speedruns to, I guess, the casual viewer, where everybody's played Mario Kart at some point in their life.
Right.
And then they see what Amber does in 200cc on Mario Kart and realize that, wow, I am trash at Mario Kart.
Hey,
Literally
I didn't
me.
destroy my thumb snaking in Mario Kart DS for nothing. I'm not
Oh my
trash.
God.
I'm just like recycling or compost or something like that. Definitely not trash.
Mario Kart
Fair
8
enough.
then. Mario Kart 8. Oh my
the snaking
gosh.
recycles. You can you compost the snaking to a later Mario Kart.
Yeah. And then a couple runs after then is Super Monkey Ball. I'm looking forward to it a lot. Of course, the one and only Helix will be running that game.
Wow, that's me.
That's you, believe it or not.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I gotta run it? I didn't know that.
Whoa, you better get ready for it. Have you been
Wait,
practicing?
this is a speedrunning marathon?
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Lots of stuff in that run that you probably have never seen in Monkey Ball if you really haven't dug into the debug mode in that game.
It's really cool. Really interesting, too. It's fun to get to show off all of the different tracks or courses and stuff in those that aren't even used in the main game.
It'll be completely pauseless, too. The first time I've ever done a
Ooh.
pauseless Monkey Ball run for a marathon.
There we go. I'd love to see it. I guess there's one other game that I wanted to talk about happening on Friday. These have all been Friday games so far that we've talked about. And later Friday night during the horror game block, which is a sub-block of the Jack block, mind you. Keep in mind. We will have Pacify by Metro 72 and Your Average White Chick, which is going to be really cool. It's a co-op-ish speedrun. Pretty short, but very interesting. And those two are really cool people, and I think this run will be really fun to watch. It's White Chick's first ever speedrun, too, so no pressure.
This is her first time being in the marathon, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
What I think is a really cool thing about Pacify is how you kind of have to adapt to each other, and there's not like a set way to go through it. You just kind of have to. You have to always be talking with your partner, and I hope they'll have good communication, of course, because they're engaged. So like, I hope
It's a real test of communication.
Yes.
And then that, along with Jack and Daxter, wraps up Friday. And then Saturday. Oh my god.
Saturday
Hey,
is
right there.
freaking stacked. Saturday, there's so much to talk about.
Friday too.
Yeah, Helix,
I mean,
do you have anything on Saturday that you want to talk about?
Celeste.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa! You can't steal my thunder here. Talking about Celeste is basically the only thing I do anymore.
You want to tussle? I think we gotta be a fight.
I mean, there's plenty of other stuff I can talk about too. I can talk about Super Fancy Pants Adventure. New
Ooh.
talked about my run. I'll talk about his run.
Ooh.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah. Shona to GDQ. I'm really excited. Not the same category though. Shona GDQ.
No,
90%.
not at all.
With-
Any percent this time.
The new world record holder. I have news.
That's right.
It's an underrated run. I've come to realize that lately. So if you haven't seen this game speedrun, you won't regret tuning into this.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a very bright, colorful game. Like, and the movement mechanics are really cool. It's all about like keeping your momentum as much as possible.
I'll have to go and find it again. I finally got around to filling out my restream form. And once I started talking about the tech or typing about it in the forum, I was like, oh my god, there's a lot
Yeah.
to talk about in this like 23-minute long game.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
know that feeling. When I got Celeste Classic into SGDQ 16, it was like, wait, I have 3 minutes to explain everything. That's not going to happen.
I'm glad that you took a little bit of time right before you started the run to explain.
Yeah. I was like, I can't do this. I need to like show off some of the things that are happening that I can't explain. And then I think my favorite part is at the end, I was like, oh yeah, that was time like 15 seconds ago because I was still explaining something from like 4 screens previous.
Yeah, that's even when I ran Monkey Ball, I had 23 minutes, and I was like, even that's not enough time.
Yeah, exactly.
The flag Marlon asks, "Are we going to see another marathon world record?"
Hope so.
That'd be sick.
What was our total from Fest this past year?
From Fest, we made $3,750 in support of it.
Well, I think Marlon was
Let's go.
asking because we were talking about Super Fancy Pants at that point, so I think he was referring to
Oh.
our ADP performance.
Yeah. Maybe. That's a hard maybe on that.
All right. Well, I believe.
No guarantees. But then again, that's exactly what I said before AGDQ, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's word for word.
I don't know.
So it's a definite yes, right?
Uh,
Babe Ruth calling the shot right over there.
I mean, there is like another good like 15 seconds that I can save over the world record run because I choked hard on level 4 and lost like 19 seconds. So
there you go.
I shouldn't say easy. No, I shouldn't say easy at all. Can save some time there, but ugh. So you're saying there's a chance? I'm saying maybe.
Just don't PB, forehead.
Yeah,
Oof.
just don't do any attempts until then, so that you can't
Don't
PB and
stream
get that
any
good run
attempts, so I can break the world record again offline and then bring it back for the marathon. No, maybe not. But we were just talking about Celeste a little bit. So, Sexrex, do you want to talk about that sort of your baby?
Yeah. So, if you haven't heard of Celeste, A, I'd ask what rock you're sleeping under. And then B, it's built from the ground up to be a really cool speedrun, and go figure, it's a really cool speedrun. Jax, top runner at the right now.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I hope that the Battle-In variant gets met, because those variants were added with the Chapter 9 DLC, and I think being able to play as the Battle-In sprite officially is super awesome.
Oh.
I've been in Jack's streams the past couple weeks, and he's been pumping out no resets and getting nutty times. Like his
Like
Yeah,
a couple
just,
PBs in the
really
last week,
solid,
right?
like sub 30, which, if you're not familiar, is a very, very good time
Yeah.
in any percent for Celeste.
But that's like his average. His average is hovering around 29 5x, 30 0x. It's insane.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. So
crazy.
it's going to be a really, really hot run. Should be a lot of.
And also, the first time we have ever had Celeste at one of our marathons. It's finally happening.
Well, technically, I believe Sexrex did run Celeste Classic back at Midwest Speed Fest 2016.
Oh, I don't even remember when.
I think it was like an impromptu
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh,
Sex Rex
Or-
block sort of thing.
It
No.
might have been in.
it was
in the
Gamers
event
Rapidly.
That didn't happen Midwest Speed Fest 17.
Ah, yeah.
Okay.
Or no, that was 16 that
16
didn't happen.
16,
Right.
and then
16
the
didn't
bots.
happen, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd have to go back and check. I just like last week went and wrote down all of the runs from all of the past Fest events and saw that one on there. It was either Fest 16 or Gamers Rapidly.
Yeah, I think I ran it at Gamers Rapidly. The very first second event because we had always done Midwest Speed Fest at 2DCon, and Gamers Rapidly was at Gamers Rhapsody, which is the previous incarnation of VGM Con. That was a whole bunch of fun. We did a little one-day marathon. I was running the stream for like 18 hours and did way too many runs. And
oh my gosh.
Oh.
How much we've grown since then.
Yeah, 4 years later, look
Yeah.
where we are now. It's a lot of growth over the past couple years
A lot
even.
of growth.
All of us in this call besides SexRex have joined after that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, yeah.
pretty
After
much
17.
everyone besides me that's still involved with the marathon has joined after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But we did have, I remember we had Velociraptor running, I don't remember which Final Fantasy it was, but that was a really fun run. He
Four?
did a fantastic job. Was it?
It was
probably
4 or 6,
He usually
One of
does
those
4.
two.
Oh, was it 6?
maybe. I could pull
But
up the.
yeah, that
Yeah.
the real highlight of that event though was something I hope to recreate someday. Vaughn, the kind of the man in charge of VGM Con as a whole, or one of the guys, he was helping us with the marathon for that as well, and just showed up at like we were getting into like the real dirty, like it was like 3 a.m. and we were like staying up till like 6 or something when we got kicked out of the room for the Smash tournament, and he just showed up with milk and Oreos, and we sat there eating cookies at 3 a.m. and then
Nice.
stored the jug of milk in the Red Bull.
oh no.
Oh no.
But anyway, back on topic. Runs from this marathon to be excited for.
yeah. Let's
Oh,
I think we were on Helix. You brought up Celeste. Any other ones you're looking at?
Yeah, I got some more. Staying on Saturday, knocking it with Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction.
yes.
We had that about a year ago. Exactly a year ago?
About like a week. Where last marathon was February 22nd through 24th.
Yeah.
So close-ish to a year.
It's almost exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really, really fun run, and I know Nakano wanted sort of like a run back, and he's getting it, bringing it back.
Let's go.
There's been new stuff discovered. I'm excited to see some of the old stuff again that was really entertaining, but then see what new stuff has been thrown in as well.
Yeah, the posts about the new stuff in the Discord have been really exciting. I'm looking forward to that run as well.
That was like one of the most well-received runs I remember from last Speedsprinter. There was a lot of people who were like praising that run.
That and Balls of Fury, of course.
Hey,
could forget?
I appreciate Balls of Fury a lot. That was a good time.
That was so bad. That was such a disaster. I went
It
like
was perfect. I don't know what you're talking about.
I went like 15 minutes over estimate or something like that.
Oh man.
We tweeted
Well,
at Terry Crews during it. It was a good time.
I forgot about that. Oh god.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic of Saturday, I'm gonna bring up the panel we have going on at VGM.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're going to the con, we have like a speedrunning Q&A panel at 6 p.m. Was it? Yeah, 6 p.m. that Saturday.
Yep, 6 p.m.
Okay.
Saturday.
It'll be me, Newt here, and Zojalix and Moonblaze Wolf will also be on that panel.
It'll be kind of formalish, sort of like this, where you can just ask us questions and talk with runners. Kind of, if you're new to speedrunning, you can get started, or if you have like any sort of questions, really.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of really fun stuff going on around the con during the whole time, too. There's a lot of really good musicians and music YouTubers that are going to be there, either playing music or putting on other panels, too. So,
Stain in the Rain. Yep.
yeah, if
People
you
like
ever
that,
get a
yeah.
chance, if any of you ever get a chance to get out of the stream room, there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. I know
There will be a Smash tournament there as well.
Ooh.
Yep.
Which game? Ultimate?
Yes.
Okay.
Ultimate, yeah.
Very nice.
And I believe the finals of that Ultimate tournament will be on like the main stage, so that'll be cool.
Ooh, there we go. Yeah. I also wanted to mention so there's going to be a number of amazing kart racers that are going to be taking place throughout this marathon. Mario Kart 8, Diddy Kong Racing is going to be awesome. Sweener Dog is so good at the game. DKR is really, really fun to watch. The speed tech is great.
Yeah,
but
that's another one of those ones where if you aren't familiar with everything, that all the little things that you can use to go faster in DKR, it is a treat to learn about that game's mechanics.
Oh yeah.
It's also a treat to watch too. One of those runs that just like looks super impressive because it is, but it definitely looks the part.
Let's keep talking about that car racer. How about
neither of these kart racers can stack up anywhere near the greatest kart racing game to ever grace the face of this earth.
And the greatest JRPG of our generation.
That's true.
Yeah. Right in RPG block.
Wild Animal Racing is in, baby! Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much.
I hate it too.
I'm so sorry. I apologize in advance. What even do I say about that game? That godforsaken game.
It's about Ginger the Giraffe's quest for inner truth and enlightenment through kart racing.
Yes. That is the spark notes for the game right there. Summed up very nicely.
Through traveling through the various worlds, such as Iceland, and listening to garage band loops, you can discover enlightenment and true fulfillment and the meaning of the universe and cosmos space-time itself.
It's
through Ginger the Giraffe.
It's a spiritual journey of a game.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
But yeah, Gooby and I will be racing Wild Animal Racing. Early Saturday morning. Yeah, very regrettably.
Not only can I not believe that y'all are getting up so early for this, y'all are getting up so early specifically for Wild Animal Racing.
I will be
not the earliest I've ever gotten up for this game.
Has some duties for the 2 hours previous there.
I will be up 2 hours earlier to do Shenmue at about 4 a.m.
I'll be up. I've got stuff starting at 7 a.m. that day anyway. So, but like I was saying, it's not the earliest I've gotten up for that game.
Oh yeah, we've read it.
Yeah, I guess this is going to be the run back. Gooby and I raced this game for Yudo Ichika Saves Lives, which was a meme game marathon put on by Chergy Tables back in August.
Somewhere like that.
Yeah, it was this summer.
July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, if it was a meme game marathon, why did Wild Animal Racing get in?
It closed the marathon, so I guess they had to use some sort of
it was like
some sort
the
of
start
game
of the good block.
Exactly, part of the not meme game. Of course, Wild Animals Racing.
The serious finish to the marathon.
Beautiful.
It's like an orchestra. You have to end on a certain note in Wild Animals Racing. It's that
note.
Finale.
Oh.
Yes.
God, I hate it.
I do too.
Let's move on and talk about good games again.
I do have a game I always wanted to bring up that I was excited for on Saturday. I'm really excited for Super Metroid Any Percent. So we've had Super Metroid before at Fest 2018 online. We've had Super Metroid ROM hacks. We've never had just Super Metroid Any Percent before.
Oh, really?
Yep. And so it's just a really good run. It's the run that got me really interested in speed run. And it's just, I love it. It's such a cool run. All the movement feels so good. It's just really tight, like controls, and it just feels really good to play. So
It's such a classic speed run.
yeah,
And of course, save or kill the animals will be the donation bid war for that game,
yep, that
as
too.
is tradition.
Of course. Gotta have it.
Which one are all of you personally? I'm vegan, so my stereotype is I have to save the animals, of course.
Save the frames, Gooby. We're speedrunners here.
I am also on Team Kill the Animals, so we're 2-2 here.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you'd think so. Gooby's reason for saving the animals, of
Had
course,
to go
being
grab
vegan.
my,
You'd think I would also lend that way
Hold
being
on.
vegetarian, but no, we're
can't hear
killing
anybody.
those animals. I want those frames. Those like it's just the one white pixel, or is it a cross shape? I don't remember. It's been so long since my last play Super Metroid time. That I'm not a big fan of that with that pixel of white flying out there.
It's like a square, I think, or something. It's like 4 pixels.
Yeah, I think
and
it's
a
either
square.
4 pixels or 1.
Yeah. Can we get the famous Sex Rex quote? Mock ball is free.
Mock ball is free.
If you don't get that, look on the Super Metroid leaderboards times and find Sex
Yeah,
Rex.
yeah, that's I was gonna point out Super Metroid is part of the Sex Rex has basically last place block, because my major glitches run of A Link to the Past, which I will be teaching someone how to do. I will not, however, be teaching him the part where I stopped for 2 hours and save and quit 998 times to max out the game's played counter. But yes, teach me any percent in Link to the Past will be really fun. I first did that one actually on Game Informer's Extra Life stream a few years ago, and I taught Tim Turry how to do it, and that was great. Hopefully I'll beat my time in doing that, and we can get a record for me teaching someone how to do Link to the Past.
A PB.
Because let me tell you, Tim Turry, not that great at Link to the Past, apparently.
Oh my god.
Shots fired at Tim.
Dang.
Yeah, no kidding.
Tim's right now, like in the chat, just like I can't. Oh,
I can't believe. God, yeah, there's just so much happening on Saturday.
Yeah, we're getting the return of Tony Ogbot running Mighty Switch Force.
Yeah.
He was like the original partner in running the event with me in 2015 and 16. Had to take a step back to focus on school and career, but we dusted him out of retirement to break out this run. It should be a blast.
Yes. Oh,
Yes,
I love to see it.
I'm rather excited for that one as well.
I am too.
I
I'm really. Oh, you go ahead.
Okay, I can't believe we've talked about Saturday this whole time, and this might be what you were going to say too, Gooby. We've talked this long without bringing up Untitled Goose Game. How?
I was actually going to bring up a way forward thing.
Oh, okay.
So the River City Girls Runner. So that's a way forward game. River City's Girls Runner. Let me know that they're going to have a way forward representative in chat for River City Girls. So appreciative of like the way forward people. I want to send them thanks for being supportive of speedrunning and supporting their games that are coming out. Because Mighty Switch Force is also a way forward game. So
Yes.
Yeah, they have been really supportive of specifically Tony in his efforts to run Mighty Switch Force. They helped him get out to events and provide. He handed out some game keys at one of them. I don't remember all the things they've done, but they have been one of the. It's always great to see developers, realizing what a boon to their communities, the speedrunning community, can be.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's super cool. Dev support is like a speedrunner's dream.
yeah.
It's really cool to see how supportive they've been. I also wanted to say, so I've been putting together the intermission playlist for the event, And part of that is I've been going and listening to the soundtracks for a lot of the games that are going to be in the marathon. If you haven't listened to the River City Girls soundtrack yet, you need to right now. It is such a good soundtrack. I just wanted to say that. It surprised me at how awesome it is.
I want to play the game, honestly.
Yeah.
I somehow haven't played it yet.
Neither have I.
I do too. That kind of leads to another topic, actually.
Oh, yeah?
On the schedule, you will see hyperlinks to some of the games out there. You might be wondering what that's about. If you go and click one of those links, you will get a Humble Bundle link. And if you purchase that game, a portion of your purchase will go towards benefiting the carbonfund.org foundation.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to play River City Girls, you can purchase through that link. We have partnered with Humble Bundle. So,
awesome.
Look forward to that.
I love Humble Bundle.
Yes.
Lots of ways to show support.
Humble Bundle is where I got this nice Kill the Animals pin a few years ago. Kill the Animals,
Can you
by
also,
the way.
Can you get a nice Save the Animals pin right there, too?
You know, I had one, but it's gone. I lost it. It's
Did you kill it?
the universe is telling me that the only way through is to kill the animals. So, with that, Mighty Switch Force, Tony Ogbot, it's really cool to see how many frequent speedrunners for Fest are back this time around for runs. One of which, a name that is commonplace in Midwest Speed Fest now, Benedictator is going to be running BioShock 2, Minerva's Den DLC, and hopefully BioShock Infinite Burial at Sea DLC.
Mm-hmm.
BioShock games, they're really, really fun watches. If you haven't watched the speedruns for those, they're a lot of fun.
Dictator's also just good.
Yes.
In general.
Yeah.
At the game, at commentating. He's just good.
Yes. Definitely.
He's super active. He's active in a lot of different marathons.
Mm-hmm.
He's really great at getting BioShock shown in marathons. And he says,
let's go.
This is the best version of BioShock. This is the best version, this DLC. So you're getting high quality BioShock action.
Yes.
Pretty much saying.
I also wanted to mention one game that's been hyped up now for quite a while. It's going to be immediately following BioShock 2 and BioShock Infinite. The one, the only, DJ Fatso will be running Backyard Wrestling 2. There goes the neighborhood.
There goes the marathon.
There goes the marathon.
It's the cream of the crop.
Yes. Rise to the top.
I need to pull out. Can I pull out a baguette? It's the cream of the crop. Yes, I always have a baguette on the ready.
Are all of those baguettes going to show up at the marathon again this time?
Oh, of course.
Yes,
They better.
they will.
Good. I'm excited.
Oh, I think though now with all of our other, multiple language restreams, I think we need to expand, get some
Ooh.
do they make sushi plushies? I think we need some of those for Japanese restream.
Isn't there a shop in the Mall of America that has a bunch of
I'm
Japanese
sure, yeah.
plushies?
All right, we're going to the Mall of America. Who wants to go right now?
On my way. Give me 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It'll be a little bit.
I'm down. You're gonna have to pick me up though. Totally not on your way.
That's
So
actually
maybe
not
we
a.
can go past it.
It's actually not a bad idea. Sushi plushies, I can imagine there being of, but schnitzel plushies,
Yeah.
Oh
be
yeah,
able
there's
to
definitely
find
gonna be some of
those.
those.
Pretzels maybe.
What about one for Brazil? For Speedruns Brazil.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar
Portuguese
enough with
restream.
Brazilian food. Just a piece of meat on a sword,
I mean,
Oh, boy.
if we could find something, we'll find a plushie of it somewhere.
We'll just get like plushy versions of the World Cup trophy
There you
to
go.
represent
Oh,
Brazil.
yes,
Or a Pele jersey. That would do
that'd
it.
be pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Are those all of the restreams then? Speedruns Brazil, German baguette, and the Japanese restream.
Mm-hmm. Yep. French, German, Portuguese, Japanese. Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Covers them all. Wow. That's
Yeah.
so many restreams. That's awesome.
It is. It's a ton of research.
I don't mean to be turning the conversation back to that godforsaken game, but there is a significant portion of the runners for the game that shall not be named are from Japan, so I'm hoping that some of them will be able to tune in to the Japanese restream for that game. They love it there.
If I can turn the conversation to the Wizards and Warriors NES trilogy,
Yes.
that
Oh,
has
yeah.
some very unique incentives. Play segment with a baby on my lap is
Yup.
perhaps the best incentive we've ever seen.
The cutest incentive of all time.
You know.
Although, if I can swing it back to GJ Fatso's submission real quick, he created like a whole rap for his submission video. So
Yep.
there's a incentive for him to perform that, which is also one of the best submissions or incentives we've ever seen.
Yes. Yes.
So, what were you gonna say, Gooby?
Two things is there. I've been on my SRC page. There's 23 marathons that I've been staffed for. Never have I seen a rap as a submission video or any musical performance. So that's already a thing. The second thing, all right, the baby. The funny thing about the baby incentive was that Dan messaged me. It's just like, when scheduling this, hey, we're gonna need to like plan scheduling around the baby if this gets in. Like, I've just kind of looked at it. It's like, never had to schedule something around a baby at a marathon. Like, this is what are 5 baby hours then?
It's not a first. I'm pretty sure we had to do it for Velociraptor back in the day as well.
Oh,
yeah.
true. Yeah, that's like, was the baby at the marathon?
I believe for one of them, yeah.
Oh. Then
That was years ago now, and they're past toddler now.
yeah.
Time flies when you're having
A
fun.
young speedrunner themselves.
My toddler isn't trying to schedule
Yeah.
size as Starkey stand.
Oh my goodness.
But also,
Look,
3 games in one in and of itself is gonna be really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that is cool. This is the first time I think we've ever seen kind of that, like one person do a back-to-back trilogy. So
Like the anthology run, I suppose, as they're coming
yeah.
to be known
no,
as.
we've had an Elder Scrolls anthology before.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Hold on. I have the master list up. Do you remember when it was?
We had Chronos. I think it was at Fest 2018. Was it during then? I remember we did have Elder Scrolls Anthology though.
I thought it was an online marathon
It might have been an online one.
because I feel like I remember.
Yeah,
I feel
Chronos.
like I remember.
Yeah.
I remember Kronos getting like an overnight slot and messaging Kronos like, "Hey, does this work for you?" And he's
Yeah.
like, "I guess, but oh no." And I'm
That
like,
sounds like
"Sorry, man.
Kronos."
Someone's got to do it."
Yes. You're right, Helix. It was mid-spring last year.
Okay.
Yep. Elder Scrolls Anthology. Main series. I love to see more runs like that pop up. It's really, really cool. They're really, really impressive.
I can honestly do that with Monkey Ball now if I wanted to.
Do
That's
it.
beside the point.
Oh,
I am doing
do
it.
it.
I am doing it at pace.
Do it now.
I
Like, quite
suppose,
literally.
yeah.
I want it, and I want it now.
Fine, I'll do it. I have my controller right here. My game is right
Yeah.
next. I'll do
That's what I
it.
figured.
Right
It's
now.
probably still on, isn't it?
Yeah, it is
I got
actually.
I gotta get every controller right now. Let's do this.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, let's be real here. Is anyone here further than 5 feet away from a GameCube controller?
Good point.
I'm not. I've got one right here too, actually.
Yep, mine is. Yeah, I can reach and grab it.
Yep.
There we go.
There it is.
So yeah, there's lots to talk about. Like,
Yeah.
so y'all went through and talked about a lot of highlights on each of the days.
Yes.
But you know what? I got more.
Oh yeah.
let's
So do
hear
I
it.
even.
Yeah. So if we rewind the clock way back to Friday, if y'all don't know what Geom Cube is, do yourself a
Yes.
favor and
Yes.
don't look it up before the run. Just tune in and watch Party Man play that game. Someone went, "Hey, what if Tetris was in 3D?" and then didn't think anything past that and just made it. And it's Geom Cube. And the run is amazing, and Party Man is great. That'll be a blast.
Yeah,
Yes.
I wanted
like-
to talk about that one too. It's crazy.
I
It's
like
definitely
to
Galaxy
imagine-
Brain.
I like to imagine that the dev, like when they said, "What if Tetris was 3D?" and then their brain just kind of imploded on itself, and then that was the end of it.
I
Yeah.
would like to bring up something. Two runs. Completely different runs, completely different parts of the schedule. The second run, Star Wars Jedi Knight Academy. Silver Lake.
Yes.
Last
Yes.
time we had this, it was a riot. Gooby was there.
Yes.
You know, we sang the Star Wars theme song. That was a pretty good time.
Gooby knows.
Or
I love that moment. I
yeah.
hope we still have that clip.
Yep. It
Oh, we
was.
do.
Was it that or was it the Cantina Band song?
No, Cantina Band was Speedsprinter 2019.
That was-
This is
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I wanted to talk about is Pokemon Sword and Shield. We usually have had Pseudo Trainer doing our Pokemon runs, and he is a wonderful Pokemon runner. But he has been running lots of like retro Pokemon games, you know, like Red and Blue, Emerald, stuff like that. But obviously, this one is, you know, Generation 8 on the Switch, Sword and Shield. I'm really excited for this one. It's our closer, a 5-hour estimate.
5-hour run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the longest run now to be featured at a fest event?
No, there was Nino Kuni at Speedsprinter 2018. That was over 6
Okay.
hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Rocket was so happy to sleep for that one.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Everyone who's ever had to work the tech side appreciates a long marathon to catch or a long run to catch a nap in.
He actually didn't sleep during it. He set an alarm every hour during that run, and he would stay awake. It would wake him up, and he would watch it. Just would stay there. Oh, Nino
Oh
Kuni's
my
still going on.
goodness.
If he would drift to sleep, the alarm
Oh,
would
wow.
catch him. Yeah. Rocket is
Yeah.
hardcore.
That's even more. That's actually incredible.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What dedication.
So yeah, then anyway, again on Friday we got Toe Jam and Earl back in the groove with crowd control. That should be fun.
Yes.
That will be fun.
Hopefully, the crowd is nice or
Hopefully the
entertainingly
crowd
fun,
is
cruel. Yeah. Going into the early morning on Saturday, there is. So they released an Ice Age game last year. I didn't realize anyone
It was-
still cared about Ice Age.
Wait, that game is from last year?
That game is from last year. Ice Age
Excuse me?
Scrat's Nutty Adventure.
Yep.
Or Ice Age Scrat's Big Nut, or
oh
what is it? Dr. Scratlove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Nut. We've got a whole list of these awful names for this game. That run is really wild. It should be a lot of fun.
and who else other than Finger Quick to run it?
Right?
Yeah.
Who else?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can just kind of hover over the whole entire stage at one point. You just fling yourself over the whole map. Just kind
Yeah,
of-
it is.
Yeah.
It is silly broken. It's a fun time. And then you know what? I wanted to talk about Untitled Goose Game, but I mean, what's
Honk!
there to say? We're gonna honk. We're gonna get 100%. The crown. It's gonna happen.
honks in chat.
And unfortunately, it's not the secret Game of the Year edition that replaces the bell.
If you don't honk and chat, you're banned.
Wind
I'm
Waker
on-
randomizer, that's always really
Yes.
fun. They do
Yes.
the randomizer for that game, if you're unfamiliar, does a good job of kind of streamlining the slower paced start of that game. If you're not super swimming, to use polite language, that game takes a while to get going. And that randomizer is a lot of fun. Oh man, there's so much to be excited for.
Pac-Man World
There
3.
is.
I'm super excited for.
Man, World.
The
Any
pack is back.
percent by the pack connoisseur himself, Woofer ZFG,
Yeah, world record holder, I believe.
by like 40 minutes.
Oh,
No,
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. No,
Did y'all know Pac-Man is a spin dash? Because I didn't.
yeah,
Now you
Woofer
know.
has put so much into that game. It's super fun to watch. That's another one that I wanted to mention.
he also made Live Split. Just casually throwing that one.
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
co-developer for Live Split.
Yep.
Pac-Man commits identity theft. Oh no.
Whoa.
Yeah, if you thought tax fraud was bad, Paxman is out here stealing people's
I
IDs.
did.
Shout outs to Party Man. That's of course referring to everyone's favorite Pac-Man game, Pac-Man 2: The New Adventures, which showed up as a run at Fest 18, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep, it did.
What
Oh
else
my
haven't we talked
gosh.
about? Octopath?
Octopath.
Yeah.
We were talking about Velociraptor earlier. He's back running Octopath. It'll be good.
Mm.
Let's go.
I love Octopath. It's such a good game.
It is. I love the art style for that game too.
Same.
I do too. It almost kind of gives me a Paper Mario vibe. Where
Yeah,
2D
it's
sprites
the like
in a
the
3D environment.
yeah, the retro but not vibe.
It's
Mm.
surprisingly short for an RPG as well. Actually, now that I think about it, the entirety of... Because I'm on couch for Fire Emblem Three Houses, and then I want to watch Mario Kart 8, and then I want to watch a trading card game, and then I want to watch Mario World, and then it's my run, and then I want to watch Octopath. When am I going to eat?
Just never eat.
Yep.
Just blueberries and naked juice. all you
Yeah, that's what's
need.
up. Yeah, let's go.
Just have someone rush me a Subway. I actually have no idea if we're
We'll
allowed to
just
have
we'll just have extensive setup times between all those runs, and you can
Yes.
you can sneak some food in.
There's a mall. right
Hopefully,
behind.
fingers crossed. I'm working on some nice nice notes for all of our fantastic setup volunteers. We actually should be able to roll really smoothly for this marathon. I'm really excited
Nice.
for that.
I've definitely had some people ask me, when asking about like volunteer schedules. I've had some people asking me if there would be people there to like show how setup and stuff works. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
definitely
have
will be.
I have a whole sheet made up with
Awesome.
interesting or information about each run and what I've put way too much effort into that
Same.
thing. I've poked at that list of information, like 3 or 4 times a day for the last 2 weeks.
that'll be really helpful. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's one of those things that just makes the marathon go so much more smoothly.
Can we get
when
a
the time
collective?
comes.
Can we get a collective thank you, Sex Rex from chat?
Or blame Sex Rex, depending when everything is on fire. And I emerge from underneath the stage.
In case you don't know the story behind that.
Oh
So,
no.
Everything was on fire, and I emerged from underneath the stage. That's pretty much how the story goes.
yeah, literally from Fest 2019, there was a tech problem, and then Sex Rex was just underneath the stage. No one knew he was there, and it just emerged underneath the stage. It's like something went wrong, then fixed it, and went back underneath the stage.
We call that sex Rex syndrome these days.
Oh no.
When you fall asleep under the stage.
Sadly, we
Running a
won't have a stage
marathon.
this time.
Oh,
Oh.
true. Darn.
We'll put a table for it. We'll make a
Yeah,
fort. to
well,
sleep.
yeah,
There
we'll
you
make a
go.
blanket for it for me.
Yes.
Helix, you mentioned briefly another run that I wanted to mention, that Super Mario World 11 exit, another classic speed run.
Yes.
if you another one of those runs, like if you haven't seen 11 Exit, like what have you been doing with your life? It's fun. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah, 11 Exit, it's the classic, like, traditional any percent Super Mario World run before any of the ace was found in that game. Just go through Star World, beat up Bowser, and call her a day. It's a quick, like, 12-minute long run.
Yeah, that was the run I remember doing as like a kid. We just kind of discovered the Star World. It's like, whoa, wait a minute! I could just beat this game real quick. Just go like that way, and yeah.
Oh, exactly.
I'm 8 years old, and this is a speed run.
Yeah.
That was also one of the first games I did. I recorded times in. Not that we were recording anything, but my neighbor and I would. We had a notebook. We were keeping track of our best IL times using the in-game timer, which, as we know in Super Mario World, is super accurate and just really fantastic. And such a great way to determine which one of us was better at the game. You know, there definitely weren't just all of the levels tied.
Everyone and their mother has done an 11 Exit run at some point in their life.
Oh yes.
What else do we have? There's just back to back to back amazing runs the whole marathon.
We've touched on like 80% of the marathon at this point.
Yeah,
We might as well touch on the rest. Let's tap. That's gonna be good.
Let's tap.
Gonna be good.
We gotta tap the rest of the run.
Yeah, we gotta tap those. Gooby, you'll be asking if anyone has seen any sailors or something like that. That's about the extent of my knowledge of that game. You're gonna go get some gachapon from the capsule machines.
It's actually it's a super cool run. There's a lot of it's a super glitch heavy run. There's you use this glitch called map glitch a lot, and it lets you just teleport. So you could use that to bypass a lot of the cutscenes in the game, and you get to skip like a whole full section of the game midway through, and there's a series of 15 glitches just after back to back to back that you just keep doing, and it gets pretty intense there.
I'm excited for the duck race minigame, personally.
Oh, duck race is fantastic.
Duck race.
That better get met.
Do I add
Quacks versus honks? Who will win? You decide.
If you don't know the duck race minigame in Shenmue 2, there is this. It's an actual thing programmed in. It's just 6 ducks, and you bet on which one wins in this race. And at SGDQ, I got a whole, not actual gambling, but duck racing gambling casino where we would just bring random people. It was like you want to bet on which duck will win. We even got Makuyama to do it at one point. That was pretty awesome.
Yes.
So, that was fun, though.
Marlon says that it also features the real barrier skip of the marathon.
That it does. That it does. Real barrier skip.
Take that, Wind Waker.
Yep.
About 1 a.m. on Saturday morning, technically, we have one of the longest titles we've ever had. Bit Trip presents Runner 2 Future Legend of Rhythm Alien. It's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful and a half, really.
Yeah. It's
you gotta take a breath in the middle of that one.
Yeah.
I love how the difficulty incentive is play rather hard mode as well.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh man. Did anybody mention Kingdom Hearts 2 yet?
No,
Pseudo?
that one got glossed over.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix any percent by Pseudo Trainer Saturday morning as well.
I was talking about how Pseudo Trainer has run a bunch of Pokemon runs, and he is a phenomenal just runner in general. He knows
what Pokemon game is this?
Games. Yeah.
This isn't a Pokemon. I just have a Keyblade.
He knows so much about the games he runs, so it'll be really cool to see him running something slightly different.
Let's just not hit any computers or monitors with plushies this time around.
No promises.
Can we get a quick exclamation mark Keyblade? There we go.
Yeah, that's part of the RPG block. With are we calling Shenmue 2 an RPG? I think it is.
Shenmue 2 is an RPG. Yep.
Yeah.
Then Wild Animal Racing, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition.
Let's
That should be really
go.
fun.
Yes. I believe Surly just got that into a different marathon. Was it Limit Break? Did he got that
Yeah, that sounds
think so.
about right.
It was Moon that got Fire Emblem.
into? No, I think it was both of them actually.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I know
too?
Moon.
Really?
Yeah, I know Blaze got in. I think it was both of them.
Awesome. Did nobody else mention the Link to the Past randomizer One Mind yet either?
No, we
No, we
don't.
talked about my Link to the Past, but we totally were
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, randomizer
Yeah.
One Mind, just like totally bonkers, and we were just like,
Love
yeah,
and
whatever. It's
Firestorm
just,
and
it's just more
Synack.
Link to the Past, whatever.
So if you aren't familiar with, everyone's familiar with randomizer at this point. It's a commonplace term. One Mind, on the other hand, the game will be switching back and forth between the two people playing it. So one person may be controlling it for, it's like half a second each, right? Or less than that even.
Yeah.
I think 30 frames is the normal and 15 frames is the hard mode.
Okay. Yeah, so it's constantly switching back and forth between who's controlling the game. So you really, really need to be communicating
Yeah,
and
And especially like with Link to the Past, the rooms have a whole lot of variance with the way each person tackles each thing. So you really do need to be synced up quite well in order for everything to kind of work out. Or it doesn't work out and it's really funny and everyone has a good time, which I think is probably more likely.
These two runners, they're also working on talking with them about an incentive where the more that's donated to the marathon, they'll reduce the number of frames that switches between them.
Oh my
yeah, they were
goodness.
talking about it being a like a milestone type incentive where if we've raised X amount, then they'll drop it down to hard mode. I think was
Yeah.
what was discussed.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, that's the idea there.
That should be a lot of fun.
What else haven't we talked about? Xenoblade 2.
Yeah,
DLC.
Xenoblade 2,
Xenoblade.
that really extended JRPG block, like Goose Game totally an RPG, Switch Force probably an RPG, Diddy Kong
Right.
Racing definitely an RPG.
Yeah.
Pac-Man World 3,
Bananas are basically
absolutely.
experience.
I
Yeah,
thought this whole marathon was just an extension of Jack Block.
yeah. The whole thing is just Jack Block.
True.
Well, except for all the runs before Jack 2, they are the Jack pregame.
Pre-Jack Block.
The Jack pre-show.
Oh goodness.
Jack 2 waiting room.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
up there in that Jack 2 waiting room, there's that Star Fox Command
Yeah.
race.
Opening
Yeah,
the marathon.
It's a race.
That's that should be fun. That's a game that is incredibly slept on in my opinion. Touch controls weren't the biggest. Didn't land very well back then. So I think a lot of people were kind of shied away from the game. But it's got a lot of really neat mechanics and just it's good, solid Star Fox.
I think this
Yes.
is the first time I've ever seen Star Fox open a marathon, and I have a Star Fox race. This will be the first time we've had a DS game open a marathon at Fest. So
Yeah.
Lots of stuff going on this marathon.
yeah,
Jazzpunk
we
is back
had-
again.
We had Toy Story on the
Oh.
DS, I think.
we did have Toy Story on the DS. We haven't had it open though.
Oh yeah, you said open, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Talcarace is back, Jazzpunk is back once
How have we
again.
not talked about Jazzpunk yet?
It's been shown off the past few marathons. It's
Crazy
sort of
Race 64.
commonplace in fest events these days. It's a lot of
It's a
fun.
staple. It's a
It's
staple.
it's silly. It's always a good time.
Yeah, if you're not awake by 10:15, I always say this: Jazzpunk will wake you up.
Yeah, that's your
Yes.
coffee with like 4 or 5 shots of espresso in it.
Yeah.
And maybe a little
which,
something extra too.
Once you're vibrating like wildly from your coffee with 6 shots of espresso in it, also known as Jazz Punk Antechamber,
Yes.
that will melt your mind and
You know,
kind of, a little bit of non-Euclidean geometry before we get into simple cube shapes with Geom Cube there.
which will still, however, melt your mind.
Yes, it will melt your mind in a different way. Your mind will continue to melt, hopefully like the snow.
It's
And then Scarian will just start tapping a bunch.
just hitting a table a bunch.
That's literally what it'll be doing.
That whole block is just like you're losing your mind the whole time.
Yeah. Losing your mind.
Jazz Punk, Antechamber, Geom Cube, and then it wraps up with Scarian hitting a table.
What the heck is going on, block?
The mind is sent into madness.
Yes. So good.
Those are the third through 6th runs of the marathon. Like,
Yeah.
It sets the scene. Then speaking of descents, later on Friday night we've got Amnesia, kind of in that pseudo horror block.
Toe Jam and Earl falls into that too, right?
The sub block of the Jack block.
Yes, exactly.
Amnesia: The Dark Descent, a classic in the indie horror genre at this point. Really kind of set the scene for basically the whole genre. I mean, the games existed before then, but it really kind of paved a whole new way of ideas of how you interact with the game and ways that things can be done. And I really enjoy the run. I'm happy to see it.
Yes.
And also,
Monkey Ball, if my debug showcase incentive gets met, I'm gonna do some stuff that's gonna make you question your life. I've found some silly things in the debug menu.
Don't spoil too much here, though. Make sure people tune in
we gotta
for
keep
it.
everyone ready to tune in.
Well, I've said I found silly things. That's all I'm saying.
Yondu is asking how do we link Amnesia to Jack. I think we gotta explain. We gotta give the rundown of the Jack one.
I'll do it again. Yes.
Okay, so we got Jack 2, and we're gonna go into Fire Emblem 3 Houses. But as we're getting into 3 Houses, we're gonna take a cart over to the trading card game, and because we're going into another world where we're gonna be rolling in, because we're traveling on an octopath, getting back in our group. But then we're gonna go into a Dark Descent. That's where it goes. But then we're being too loud, and we have to pacify ourselves because the precursor legacy is on.
There it is.
That's it.
Something along the lines of that. That Amnesia run will feature a lot of really cool out of bounds.
Yes.
A lot of really cool skips
It's
in
such
there.
a cool run. Amnesia is a hey, I've said this a lot for a lot of games, but it's a classic PC speedrun. Speedrun's been around for a while. It's been really broken for a really long time. Love to watch it. Have we mentioned, I think the last game that hasn't been mentioned is Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
I think we did mention it.
Did we mention
I
it?
brought up briefly.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a cool run where you can get this skip over certain areas of the game with it.
It's another extension of our RPG block.
Yeah, this is the most RPGs I think we've ever had in America too. Which is
Yeah,
pretty
there
cool
are
to
a
see.
lot. There are a ton of RPGs. Call us RPG Limit Break Jr. over here. RPG Limit Break and Jack.
I think they're RPG Limit Break Jr. because they don't have wild animal racing.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, so
I should
we're
submit
Limit
that
Break
too.
now, and
Limit
they're
Break.
like not as good. So they're just like a high level summon or something like that.
You know, I like to imagine this like SpongeBob, where it's like Limit Break Hunt Jr.
What we really need to do.
Super Weenie Hut Jr.
I've lost all. So what I was gonna say is what we really need to do is link the JRPG block into the Kart Racer block and have Final Fantasy 15, of course.
Yes. Wild Animal Racing is a connector for that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
clearly.
is also the connector, I suppose.
It's the god particle of speedrunning marathons.
Is it too late to back out?
No. We're replacing the entire marathon with wild animal racing. It's just every runner. You've been practicing your game. Sorry, you're gonna show up and play wild animal racing. It's just you two teaching everyone wild
That's
animal
my
racing.
master plan. Oh God.
3 days. Have fun.
Let's
12-hour shifts.
Let's never do a teach me wild animal racing, please. No, thank you.
Agreed.
What's
Hey,
that?
now
You
that I
wanna
have
do-
it installed on my computer, I could learn.
What's that? You want to do Teach Me Wild Animal Racing? Is that what I just heard?
That's what I heard.
No, never.
All these wonderful ideas.
Make it like a $5,000
future-
donation incentive.
Future marathons. Teach me wild animal race. Yes.
Maybe if Dead Mouse comes by and just is like, here you go.
Yeah,
here's
drops
5K.
10K on us.
Oh my God. I want to see wild animal racing. It's
It's a time.
At least it's not Alien Insanity or whatever that game was that we tried to race
Ah.
and couldn't even beat like the second level.
that took so long.
That game was rough.
That's yeah.
It was.
think we
Alien
covered-
Insanity.
Covered everything though, pretty much.
Yeah, we've covered every game. We talked about the CarbonFund.org Foundation.
Mhm.
We've talked about the panel. We talked about our restreamers. Talked
Ooh.
about baguettes by extension.
Could
You
I mention just a couple of other things going on during the con that I'm excited for?
Can you? I mean, you're like the mediator.
Go for
Yes, I will. So there's a couple names I wanted to drop, people that I enjoy watching a lot. First is 8-Bit Music Theory, who had a panel at last year's VGM Con. I went to it. It was super, super cool. If you don't know, 8-Bit Music Theory does videos on YouTube sort of dissecting video game music and talks, well, about the music theory behind various video game soundtracks. It's super, super cool. If you like video game music, if you like music in general, it's a lot of fun. And then another name that I was super excited to see was going to be at the con is Insane in the Rain Music.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Insane does a ton of really awesome jazz covers of various video game music. I know he made the album Live at Grillby's, which was an Undertale jazz album. So good. I loved listening to that, like studying when I was in college. And has covered like the entire Sinnoh soundtrack, I think, or
Yep.
most of it. Like the Sinnoh Pokemon games, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of really, really cool people hanging around the con, so hang out as much as you want for Midwinter Speedsprinter. But there's also a lot of really cool things going on around the convention as well.
I have had people who I didn't tell about the con yet who messaged me about the lineup.
Yeah. It's insane.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, there's always a lot of good stuff going on. It's a nice size. There's a lot of concerts to go to, and it's just really fun time overall.
I didn't bring up our practice room. We're gonna have practice.
That's right.
Yeah.
Gotta practice.
Yes. Let's go.
Not a game, practice.
Not the game that you play. We're talking about practice.
Do you know if it's going to be the same room that we had last year?
It will. We will have both of the
Nice.
same rooms.
Are we gonna get the mini
Nice.
fridge again?
You know, I don't know.
Oh.
Someone bring a mini fridge. You can, like.
No, it was literally just there last time.
I actually
what we
have a
need is
mini
that-
fridge that I could bring.
I mean,
We
same,
need
actually.
we need to find that milk from Gamers
Yeah,
Rapidly
the milk
2016.
5 years ago.
No. Oh
Put
god.
it in there. It's probably good, right?
Cheese at
Oh,
this
yeah.
point.
It's past cheese at this point.
Like a nice aged cheddar. It's had time to sit and think about itself.
Ponder life, grow sentience.
100% safe. Yes.
If you eat that cheese, you'll probably start feeling like you would after watching Jazz Punk through Let's Tap, actually.
True. True.
That's what drinking that milk is what playing Wild Animals Racing feels like.
This is how it feels to chew 5 gum.
Yes, we'll have that practice room, so all the riders have a nice spot to practice. It's a really good sized room. It's really comfortable. Stream room is fantastic. We had last year. We had such a great space. It was a blast.
Super cozy. Plenty of seating room too. It's a good sized room as well.
It is.
And there's going to be like tables and chairs and stuff outside of the stream room again for just hanging out, right?
Yeah, those are pretty much set up.
Yeah. I'll just take a quick stretch and just no promotion at all. Just
with the VGM Con shirt.
Not trying to showing my VGM Con shirt in support of a great convention. Why would I do that?
VGM Con has been super awesome.
They've been really nice
they're
to
always
us.
a blast, and like Helix said, they are both of our hosts are fantastic hosts, and we love them very much.
Mm-hmm.
They've always been so great to work with. They're always really helpful for us, and they help us out so much with getting the marathon set up. So definitely, we appreciate them so much. Definitely let them know you're going to be there, just how much we appreciate them letting us be here.
Yeah, definitely. Let their volunteers know as well.
Yes.
Oh, and if anybody out there is still looking for it, I saw a message in the VGMCon Discord that they're still looking for some volunteers just to fill a few hours that they need help with. So if if any of you have holes in your schedule throughout the event, you can hop on the Discord channel for VGMCon and help out if you can.
Volunteers get perks too.
That's true.
Yeah,
they do.
And remember, there will be VODs. This won't be Fest 16 all over again. We will hit the record button.
Yes.
Wait, what's the record button?
Yeah, there's a record button?
Wait, we were streaming? The VGMCon Discord is now linked in chats. Go join it there. It's also pinned in the Fest Discord and Marathon discussion. Whatever.
Awesome.
Do we count as VGMCon volunteers?
I
got a volunteer thing last year. I got like a ribbon last year, but that's it.
That's a good question.
I'll ask them like right now.
I'm not sure.
If I remember correctly, there was some confusion about that when I
live?
got my badge as well.
Yeah. I don't think
not as much as the me getting a child badge at Duty Con.
Legendary.
I registered so early that there was so they had pre-registration open at the previous year's event for a super discount.
Yeah.
And I jumped in then, and all of the people who registered that day, when it got transferred over to their new registration system, it got put in as child, because I guess that was the default badge type.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Classic.
Registration.
If you gave it to me, it would have made sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always joke about how I'm for whenever GDQ rolls around, I'm looking for someone who's willing to, be my guardian so I can get one of those sweet child badges.
They
Here, I
do.
finally pulled it off.
Did you get one yet? One of those?
No, I have not.
Oh.
I have not gotten a GDQ child badge.
I should've-
I don't think that's gonna happen.
You should have let me know. I helped out with teardown at SGDQ this past year. And
Oh yeah, and you
I
managed
found
to
the big.
see- yeah.
They left like the big pile of all of the extra badges, and there were a couple that I grabbed, but I didn't think to grab a child badge. That was left over there. Hey, Helix, at least you haven't had the problem of GDQ enforcement volunteers thinking that you need a child badge at the event.
I'm a little bit surprised, but yeah.
It was at SGDQ again. I was working enforcement, and of course I have like the volunteer chat open and stuff. And one of the enforcement volunteers took a picture of Brady Flarebear and asked,
Oh, no.
"Hey, does this person need a child badge?" They're walking around with like an actual badge, but I don't think they should have it.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
I was
Flarebear.
like, "Oh no." Oh. Yeah, I guess. Is there anything anybody else would like to mention, like to talk about?
I think
not-
it's
If you're not
I think it's-
registered,
safe to say I got. Oh yeah, if you're not registered, go register for the con.
Yes.
Like,
Use the code MWSS for discount.
yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
any runners that haven't yet, remember to fill out your restream forms to help out the various language restreams for understanding your runs. If you haven't done that already.
I feel like you're talking directly to me.
A little bit. There are a couple people that I'm talking to.
Yeah.
I only got around to finishing my Fancy Pants 1 today, so
I'll,
Probably do mine
I can't.
in the next couple days.
I can't
I'll
talk.
admit I need to submit mine. So
wow,
No,
am I the most? That's not good. If I'm the most.
Oh no.
see, I wrote one and then we used a different system, and now I just don't want to copy.
Oh yeah. The copy paste. That's like 4 whole keystrokes.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Oof.
I have other marathon-related things to do.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah,
excuse.
yeah.
Yes.
So we've got I think it's safe for me to say this. Gonna have some announcements at the end of Sprinter. So if you're interested in future events broadcast on this channel, be sure to keep an eye out. I'm sure those will all, of course, be on Twitter as well and
In
the
our Discord, yeah.
But we got some fun stuff lined up for the rest of this year. A lot of fun ideas have been brought up in the Discord for future submissions. Like if you thought Pokemon Sword / Shield was fun, wait till you see Pokemon Sword plus Shield.
Ooh.
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 Yeah.
Oh, love to hear it. Yeah, along those lines, I also want to plug that the Runner Spotlight will be returning Wednesdays at about 7:00 p.m. Central Time, following the conclusion of Midwinter Speedsprinter. Finally get around to doing that again.
I did not know
Yay.
that. That's a big announcement.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
surprise! We're coming back. It'd be nice to get on and talk to some new runners as well, and probably some old faces alike.
Have you lined up the first guest yet?
It's a surprise.
Okay.
I'll just say that there. Yeah, that has not been announced yet. Anyway, I think that pretty much wraps up everything that we wanted to talk about today.
The last thing I'll say is just thank you everyone who's submitted or donated, and you're just kind of here watching this and helping this community grow, and just being a part of this community. Wonderful being a part of it, and you all mean just so much to all of us. So thank you.
Heck yeah.
Yes. Gooby, do you want to take control of finding a channel to raid?
Yeah, I was thinking about raiding Zandamascus and doing some 11 exit runs right now.
Yeah, let's do
That
it.
sound cool? Yeah. I'm going to double check.
What is our raid message and why is it honk?
Oh.
Can our raid message be the milk from
The milk
Speedsprinter
from
2016?
4-year-old milk.
4-year-old
Oh, I like that.
milk.
4-year-old milk.
That's even
4-year-old
better.
Go spam Zandamascus with 4-year-old milk. Thank you everyone for coming by.
Milk is older than me.
We will all see you at Speedsprinter 2020.
Yep, see you all there.
Have a good night, everyone.
And I clicked raid.